Interest rates are ridiculously high, prices are falling, and there's another interest rate announcement around the corner. Is this a good time to buy, or should you wait a little longer? This seems to be the most common question I get asked. So I'm going to jump right into the current stats, as well as give you my unbiased opinion on whether it's a good time to enter. First off, let's clear off a very common myth that people have. No one can win in this market. Not true. Here's a few scenarios of how it can play out. Example 1, a first-time buyer. Prices have dropped significantly over the last few months. Let's just say someone bought a home in January for $800,000 with a lower interest rate of 5.5% with 20% down. The monthly payments on the mortgage itself would be roughly $3,900 a month. Now let's look at the same scenario with the same property. If it was bought for $60,000 cheaper with the prices falling and a current interest rate around, let's just say 6.34%, with 20% down, you'd be paying the same monthly payment as you were before on a lower price point. How does it make a difference to wait? That's the real question here. Many people think that you may save money on the purchase price by waiting for the rates to rise. But what we need to look at is the monthly payments more than the purchase price, because at the end of the day, no one buys a home cash. What's important is to look at the bigger picture. When do you plan on selling the property? If you're going to hold on to it for 3 to 5 years, which is what most people do, it won't matter if the prices fluctuate in the short time frame. That's why we go with the old saying, it's not about timing the market, but it's about time in the market. There are benefits to a buyer's market and a seller's market. A buyer's market, like the market we're in now, there are more options to choose from, less bidding wars, and more price negotiations, which is a great time for someone like a first-time buyer or someone moving up to take advantage of. Now, if we look at the same property we spoke about earlier with a 3 to 5 year game plan in mind, on year 1 with a 6% appreciation, which is conservative compared to the last few years we've seen, on year 3, we can expect 108% return on investment. Now, if the interest rates go up moving forward, we can expect the prices to drop. However, if you don't sell your property, you're never going to lose money. And if you hold on to it for a long time frame, which is what we always recommend, you can expect some significant results. Example number 2, a move-up buyer. Let's say you owned a home in January and you wanted to upsize into something bigger. Let's say that home was worth $800,000 and you owed $600,000 on it. After a couple months, the property values dropped by, let's just say 6%, which is mostly the case in most areas. That home would have dropped in value by $48,000. Now, let's say the interest rates don't drop on the next announcement. In fact, they stay the same, which is what most of the economists are saying. Now, the property that you want to buy will go up in value at a higher rate than the one that you're selling because it's a more expensive property. Is it really worth taking the risk to wait or jump in when the time is right for you? Scenario 3, investors. This one's my favorite. What are you buying? Start there. Is it a pre-construction property, a short-term rental, although those are very risky in today's market, a long-term rental to professionals or students, pre-construction, land development, or a flip property? Again, that's very risky in today's fluctuating market as well. What you buy matters. That's where I would start. When do you plan to sell the property? What's your exit strategy? If you plan to hold on to it just for 6 months, I advise not buying the property because the market's too volatile and that would put you at too much risk. Why are you buying this property? For cash flow, to pay for your kids' education, for a vacation, or to save up for your retirement? Get very clear on the why. That's what's going to shape up your strategy. Each of these reasons will result in a different property type. You cannot expect to buy a property that fits all your purposes. For example, you cannot expect to buy a cash flowing property in the city just so you can move into it. these properties in the city tend to cost a lot higher than the ones in the suburbs that generate better cash flowing options. Being clear on what your goal is will prevent you from buying a property that doesn't serve you. I cannot emphasize on this enough. There are so many people that have bought properties as pre-constructions out in the suburbs thinking, hey, if it doesn't work out, we'll assign it or we'll move into it if we have a hard time with the mortgage. And now they're stuck with the property because they cannot assign it, and now they're having to sell it at a loss. These points are important, but you know what's absolutely non-negotiable? Having a long-term thinking mindset and a very good market insight. Now, you've bought a property and you're unclear on whether you should take a variable or a fixed rate. In most cases, people do take a variable rate because it's lower than fixed, and with the uncertain times, it's nice to have that flexibility to switch your rate whenever you want. If the market does drop, you don't want to be stuck at a higher interest rate. Now, here's the million-dollar question. Will the rates rise on September 6th? Now, this video is being shot on September 4th, and we have no idea whether the rates will go up or down. But we have some articles to share with you to give you an idea of what to expect. According to this article from Reuters Canada, it states that the interest rates on September 6th will stay the same, however, prices will continue falling. As we look at this article more carefully, it says that the Bank of Canada will hold its rate at 5% on September 6th and stay at that level through the rest of the year till the end of March 2024, according to a majority of the economists in the Reuters poll, with a small but growing minority expecting one or more rate hikes. The slowdown in economy and the rise of unemployment rate is causing most economists to question another rate hike. It further explains that it won't be until the next year that we'll know what the bank's intentions are on lowering the rates or not, and that will reflect the housing market once again. So for those of you waiting on the sidelines, waiting for the prices to drop further and interest rates potentially going higher, what happens if the rates stay the same? Now all those buyers waiting on the sidelines, just like yourself, will jump into the market, causing the prices to surge. This happened in 2020 when COVID hit, then in 2022 with the multiple rate hikes, and now again with the prices dipping. It's a great buyer's window for you to take advantage of. If you're thinking of buying in the next 3 to 6 months, couldn't be a better time to take advantage of the lower price points, more negotiation options, more options in general in the market, and the overall price reductions. Hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more, and let us know in the comments below what you think is going to happen in the future with the home prices. Until next time, we provide results that move you.